Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Usha Vyas, Associate Professor of English. Today I am taking first year class and my topic is Pride and Prejudice. Irony in Pride and Prejudice. Irony defined. The basic feature of every irony is a contrast between a reality and appearance. Jane Austen makes use of irony at different levels. She makes use of it in her narrative style to uncover the incongruity, even contradiction existing under the surface harmony, thereby adding a rich subtlety and complexity to her style and making it fit to be analyzed and interpreted at different levels. She uses it in her characterization to expose her characters' misunderstanding of others as their own self-deception. Even her dialogues are full of dramatic irony. They have one interpretation for the speaker and quite another for the reader who possesses more information than the speaker. Sometimes certain words are uttered by the particular character and such certain situations get imbued with ironic implications in the light of what happens later in the novel. Her use of irony lends compactness, clarity, and subtlety to her narrative, depth to her characterization, comic touch to her plot, and it keeps her reader titillated and amused. Next point is ironic theme of Pride and Prejudice. Like all other novels of Jane Austen, the theme of Pride and Prejudice also easily lends itself to an ironic interpretation. At the ironic level, Pride and Prejudice presents contrast between intricacy and simplicity as those terms apply to personality. Darcy and Elizabeth's intricacy is set against Jane and Bingley's simplicity. The first two have depth, but their depth involves them in the dangers of Pride and Prejudice. The latter two are quite simple and their simplicity turns out to be a virtue. But which one is more attractive and even preferable? The intricacy of the first two or the simplicity of the latter? Both intricacy and simplicity have their virtues, both are equally desirable. On the other hand, both of them have their dangers too. Perhaps one would like to be both intricate and simple at the same time, but the irony is that they are mutually exclusive and incompatible. Next point in this answer is ironic tone of the narrative. Jane Austen's ironic tone is established in the very first sentence of the novel. It is truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. The first half of this sentence suggests that some great universal truth is the subject of the novel. There is an ironic deflation in the second half when this truth is found to be concerned with the common social problem marriage. The sentence itself means that people assume that well-to-do young men should be on the lookout for a suitable wife. It conceals beneath it an ironic thought that in reality things may be other way around. It is quite likely that women in the neighborhood of this young man are desirous of having such a husband and he may be the hunted one rather than the hunter. Next point in this answer is irony of situation. Most of the events and situations in Pride and Prejudice have been given an ironic twist. Mr. Darcy remarks about Elizabeth that she is not handsome enough to tempt me, and soon after gets captivated by her enormous eyes. Taking into consideration the imprudence of a marriage alliance with the Bennet family, he removes Bingley from Netherfield but makes the same alliance himself. Collins proposes to Elizabeth when her heart is too full of Wickham. Darcy proposes to her exactly at the moment when she hates him most. Next is irony of character. Irony of character is even more prominent than that of irony of situation. Isn't it ironical that Elizabeth, who prides herself on her perception and disdains Jane's blindness to the realities, is herself quite blinded by her prejudices? Darcy always thought he was such a gentleman, but his proposal to Elizabeth is quite ungentlemanly. Wickham is graceful to look at, polished and refined in manners, but at heart he is an unredeemed villain. The Bingley sisters hate that Bennets for their vulgarity, but are themselves vulgar. Irony is also there in dialogues. Next point is irony in dialogue. As an example of the use of dramatic irony in dialogues, we may refer to chapter 30, 34. Mrs. Reynolds says that she do not know where her master Mr. Darcy will marry these. I do not know who is good enough for him. She is innocently praising him, but in Elizabeth's ears must be echoing Mr. Darcy's words. She is not handsome enough to tempt me. Thank you. This is all for today. See you again tomorrow.